May 1st, all over the world, is celebrated as International Workers' Day, a day set aside to celebrate laborers and the entire working class. Nigeria is not left out in this celebration as the federal government has already declared Wednesday, 1st of May 2019, a public holiday to commemorate the day. The 2019 edition of the celebration is significant to the average Nigerian worker, coming shortly after the federal government, under the leadership of President Muhammadu Buhari, implemented a new minimum wage structure for workers in both the public and private sectors across the country. This, however, was not delivered on a platter of gold, as it is a product of series of appeals, consultations, and even strikes by the organized labor to draw the attention of the federal government a need to improve the living standard of workers across the country. Nigeria in recent times has been grappling with harsh economic realities occasioned by a drastic drop in global oil prices and the massive corruption that characterized governance since the return to democracy in 1999, leading to a drop in the standard of living of most Nigerian workers. With the attending exorbitant hike in prices of commodities in the market, high cost of transportation, increase in school fees, house rent, and others, the average Nigerian worker was left in a state of penury and lack, which led to a high rate of corruption in the public sector. With the increase of the national minimum wage from a meager 18,000 a month to 30,000, one would say the federal government of Nigeria has attended to the plight of the Nigerian worker. However, some schools of thought are of the view that the 30,000 minimum wage would do nothing to ameliorate the plight of the Nigerian worker because of the drastic increase in price of goods and services across the country. Some other schools of thought think that attending to the plight of workers does not necessarily amount to increase in wages, but the product of a deliberate economic policy that will target the creation of jobs, diversification of the economy, provision of affordable housing, and improvement in the general infrastructure around the country. The Buhari-led administration arguably did apply some sensitivity to the plight of the Nigerian worker. Although the organized labor initially proposed a minimum wage increase of 50,000 naira, the differences in the resources accruing to the various states of the federation, either through the federation account and through internally generated revenue, threw up the questions as to the feasibility of actualizing that amount and led to the consensus of a national minimum wage penned at 30,000 naira. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world in marking the 2019 International Workers' Day, it is pertinent to note that despite the recent increase in their take-home pay, the Nigerian worker is still not at par with their counterparts in most countries around the world. Doko Emmanuel, TVN News.